Alright, so wiring up the Huron Speed dual fuel pump setup. Basically, you have the purple wires that come out of the pump, and that's your sending unit wires. So basically telling the gauge how much fuel that you have. Still need a heat shrink and cover these, but just wanted to kind of show you all this before I do cover all that. You'll have two blue wires coming from the pump, and basically what that is that's going to be from your fuel pump supply. So basically telling or your ignition source, if you will, however you want to call it. So basically that's telling the pumps when to turn on. And then with the included harness from Huron Speed, I routed all of that coming down. So right here, if I can get the camera angle good enough for y'all, so I zip tied these relays back to back, basically hung them up along the frame rail along with the OEM harness, and then you'll have some grounds. So basically what I did was I scratched a little bit behind it, got some stainless steel little self tappers, tap that in, that's good. And let's see, oh, fuses. Sorry, I'm trying to look at the phone at the same time. So the fuses, I wanted to leave those kind of semi-loose to where if I ever do need to pull them down, let's say change a fuse, boom, I can pull it down, no big deal. I didn't want to mount them or anything, so did that and kept zip tying it down. And this wire, I need to do something with it because this guy that wired the cigarette lighter back in the back of the camper shell just hung a wire right there. But anyways, so here's the harness. It keeps going. So right here, now I split this up separately. I could have done it later, but basically this is going to be, there's a black wire in the kit, and what that is that's your trigger for the second pump. So that runs the Hobbs switch on my intake, basically at, I believe mine's set at 7 psi. It engages the second pump, and I'll show you that here in a second. Right here is where you'll have your two main power wires that'll power your relays or your pumps, and I ran that up to my distribution block, right where the alternator and everything where I have, I'll show you in just a second. Alright, so here's where I ran all the wiring, coming up along with the factory harness, zip tying it, keeping it tight, and then I have, this is my little distribution block. The Huron Speed kit actually comes with a tapped intake. I don't believe it's for the Hobbs switch specifically, but I went ahead and used it for that. And then along with this pipe, I used it for the actual intake air temp. You can kind of see it in the background. So right there, that's my Hobbs switch. This basically will activate the secondary fuel pump. I believe this one's set at 7 psi right now. And then I'll run a ground from this side at the bottom of the cord support and tap it. The trigger is a ground for the secondary pump, so you can just take that and run it to the ground, run this to the pump with using that long black wire included with their harness.